Good morning, Nicole Coaching here. Thank you for joining me. Today's lesson is about not always knowing the answer. So this is just one example of how you're self-sabotaging yourself. And this example has to do with feeling like you need to always have the answer. So how it shows up is when, let's say, your close family member gives you advice, or your boss tells you how to do something differently, or you come across a problem you don't know the answer to. Well, let's go with the first example, where someone's telling you how to do something differently than you're already doing it. Well, one way you might be self-sabotaging in this situation is by feeling like you need to know the answer already. Feeling like you're a failure if you don't already know the answer. And why does this come about? Well, if we feel like we always need to know the answer, it shows up in little areas of our life. Like if someone says, okay, this is how you should be doing yourself something, and you realize, okay, yes, I've actually already been doing it like that. I just need to continue doing it like that. Or let's say that I come to you and I say, you don't always need to know the answer. And you say, yes, yeah, I understand. I've been working on this. Like, I do notice this. But instead, what you should be saying is, thank you for that input. Let me sit on it for a second. Because if you realize that I'm coming to you with this advice because I've thought about it, it's not a simple decision I've made, then I want you to take it a little more seriously. And just to brush something off like, I'm already doing that, let me just continue, is hurting yourself. That's self-sabotage. So and the reason this is important is because if you believe that you always need to know how to do things, it's more clear with kids. So kids might feel like if they haven't tried something that to eat, then they don't want to try it because it's gross. Like this is the same example. If with kids, that's a clear example. Not wanting to try something new because they want to know how to do it. If they're trying something new, then they don't know how to do it. It's going to be weird. It's going to be scary. And the same thing goes for adults, but in different ways. So what I'm challenging you to do is I'm challenging you to try new things. Those things that you're afraid of, those things that you feel like maybe you feel like you have to, and that's holding you back. But what I want you to do here is I want you to do those things that you're fearful of. So for me, for example, I love physical examples. So swimming in the ocean is a clear example of something that's really scary to do and you might be fearful of. So to go out and swim in the ocean is facing a fear. And you want to add those things into your life more regularly so you can continue to grow and to continue to see that you're pushing yourself and know that you're growing and know that you've come so far. And those things that we fear is energy that feels stuck. Fear is stuck. And fear is just not seeing your potential. you're stuck on this fear that you're not able to move forward. So adding things in your life that help you overcome fear is a great muscle to work out, okay? So, but today we're talking about things feeling like you need to always have the answer. And when you feel like you always need to have the answer, well, when something comes up that you don't know the answer to, it's going to be more difficult if you haven't been practicing trying new things. It's going to be more difficult to snag that opportunity when it presents itself because you're already primed to say no because you don't understand. Okay, let me try and explain this in another way. And please drop a comment if you can relate, because if you can tell, I'm just starting out. And so I have about 30 views, 60 views on my most viewed video right now on YouTube. And on Instagram, I am getting the most views is about 4,000 or 5,000 views, and more regularly like 200 views, which is amazing. And I say those specific stats to you because A, you'll be able to go back and look at this video and see, oh wow, she's made a lot of progress. And then two, I also bring that up because I don't feel like I'm making progress. I don't feel like I've gotten to where I want to be, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing anything good. Just to be completely honest in how I'm feeling. And me just sharing those stats, you're going to have a different opinion on those stats. You're going to say, oh, she is just starting out. Or you're going to think, oh, wow, that's way more than I have. Okay, so, and also, I'm in the future, this is going to be a different scenario. So, keeping score is very important, because if I could look back on this video and think, okay, well, back then 30 views on my YouTube video is really good. Well, now 1,000 views on my YouTube is really good. See how far I've come. Okay, and the same thing goes for in your life. If you're working at a job that you're unhappy with, well, think about what was that pay rate that I started at when I started this job? Do you get a raise every year? Well, even if it's only 30, 60 cents, maybe it's more some years, maybe it's $1. But if you looked back at your beginning wage and looked at what you make now, then that is another way to clearly see progress. And that's keeping score. Watching your progress, seeing actual numbers, and watching your progress is how you keep score. So I'm bouncing all over the place, but please comment what I've said that has stuck with you so far. What is that nugget that's sticking out to you when you watch my videos? Make sure you comment those so that I can elaborate for you. But today what we're talking about is feeling like you need to have all the answers. And this idea, it's going to show up in your life in more ways if you start to notice it and you turn on that light switch and you say, okay, I want to notice when this is showing up. So then you start to notice, okay, when someone gives me advice, I say, yes, I'm trying that already. Thank you. Can you see the switch? That is feeling like you already need to know the answer. Okay, so let's see. thank you for watching today. I'm wanting to go at a longer video, but I think 10 minutes is the perfect amount of time right now. So thank you for watching. Make sure you support the small business by liking and subscribing, checking out my YouTube, Nicole Coaching G, and I'll see you next time.